He is a man who is Hall of Fame worthy. That is for darn sure. And he is one of the best receivers to play the game. And he's a member of the greatest show on turf that started turning around the Rams' fortunes in this series that the 49ers had dominated for many, many a year. And speaking of dominated, he will be such in the Allison Chains Fantasy Football League this week when we take on Torry Big Game Holt. How are you, Torry?
Good, Rich. How you doing, brother?
I am doing fine. I miss you, Torry. What you been up to?
Oh, man. For one, I just finished working out. The documentaries kind of got me, feeling like I can play again.
Yeah, is that right?
Yeah, man. So just finished working out, coaching high school football here in North Carolina. Varsity receiver coach over at Heritage High School. JV offensive coordinator over at Heritage High School. Mm-hmm. And having a good time with that. So I'm getting my football fix as well as continuing to talk it with you and all those around the country. So that's got me going. And then I'm excited about what's going on with the Rams, man. I'm talking a little fantasy football with SiriusXM as well as SiriusXM NFL Radio. So, yeah.
So what
football
makes you
back,
excited?
Bro. Football
yeah,
is
I know
back.
that. What makes you excited about what's going on with the Rams, Torry?
You know what? I'm excited about how Jared Goff is continuing to develop, and obviously there's still growing pains with him, particularly the interception there at the end of Foster. I mean, he just took the linebacker right to the throw, and he hadn't been doing that all game, so that was uncharacteristic. But just that entire last portion of that 2 minutes of that game was weird. There was a lot going on. McVay checking with the plays and the clock, and it was a different team that took the field on that possession than the prior possessions. But I like Gurley. Despite the 2 fumbles, he's back active. He's jumping over people, fighting for extra yards and for touchdowns. So that's exciting. I like Cooper Kupp, the rookie. He's not going to blow by anybody, but he understands football. He's a heck of a football player, very productive in college, as we all know. And you're seeing flashes of that. You're seeing trends of that with the Rams early. Will Josh Reynolds get more involved? Will they extend the offense beyond the hashes to the outside numbers? So looking forward to we see some of that tonight versus the 49ers, because the 49ers are weak in the secondary. No Eric Reed. So there's some opportunities for them to make some plays in the passing game. But I'm excited about the run game. That defense has got to get better. It's good to have Donald back in the mix. I think he'll help tonight. They should be pissed off. 259 yards, Rich, at home, and Aaron Donald's back on the football field. They should be embarrassed. So I think they'll control Carlos Hyde, who's playing phenomenal. He looks really good. He's running the rock. He went into Seattle, as we all saw last week, and did his thing. No one's done it in Seattle in 5 years. He's done it twice, 100 yards rushing. So that tells you how he's feeling in running the football. They got to slow down and run, and then if we can create turnovers on defense with scores like they did in week one, we got a chance of going to San Francisco and winning. And we don't like San Francisco, and they don't like us. You mentioned –
Yeah, right?
In the documentary you'll see tonight, that's kind of highlighted how we were tired of losing to the 49ers for 17 straight. That's terrible.
Well, I want to mention that before we get deeper into this. Torry Holt, at Big Game 81 on Twitter, joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. As soon as I'm done with Marshall and Michael and Mooch on Thursday Night Football tonight with our postgame show, the Timeline Greatest Show on Turf premieres right after we are done with the Rams and 49ers game. And, Kurt and Marshall love to give the business to Mooch that you arrived in 99 as well. I mean, Marshall got acquired.
Yeah.
You arrived.
Yeah.
And then Kurt Warner ascended. What was that 1999 season like from your perspective, Torry?
Well, it was so fast, Rich. I was just a rookie. So I'm trying to get in where I fit in and have an impact. And I was drafted 6 overall, so there was expectations. So, and having Marshall and Adam Timmerman, who we acquired from Green Bay, was a pro. Ray Agnew, Ricky Prohl, Isaac, list goes on. Marshall, Orlando, players that were pros. I was able to learn early, and along with Coach Seville, Coach Saunders, everyone really, I was able to learn quickly how to carry myself, and then what the expectations were, and then and how to go about getting it. And Isaac was fantastic in practicing. Ricky was. Guys trained hard, worked hard, studied hard. And then Mike was just he just entrusted in us to go out and do our thing, and he put us in great situations to succeed. And we had guys at every spot. For his offense, we had guys at every spot that played at a very, very high clip, very, very high level, obviously Hall of Fame guys. So to have that on your team, and guys are self-motivated, guys are unselfish, guys were all about trying to win it and prove to the country that this BS about the Rams stink is over. It was good. That was a good environment for a young guy like myself and Dre Bly and Rich Cody. It's a great environment for us young rookies to come into.
So what was it like when Kurt went down? What's your recollection of that? I mean, when Trent went down. And Kurt,
man, I was sick.
You had to turn to him.
Because Trent in that game against the preseason game against San Diego, ladies and gentlemen, Trent Green was 11 for 11. The ball didn't touch the ground. And you hear people make mumbles about their balls don't touch the ground in practice. Our balls didn't touch the ground in practice. And it was like that. It was carrying over to the preseason. So I'm like, oh, my goodness, this is unbelievable. And then to see him go down was devastating, because all that it took to get Trent there and to put the pieces that they felt like Dick and the staff felt like they had in place, and then to see that happen at a very critical position on the field. And Trent had arm talent, smarts, sneaky athletic, tough, charismatic, had charisma, and you see that now with him on radio and TV. It was tough to watch Trent go down. We were all pulling for him.
7-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Torry Holt here on the Rich Eisen Show. I know it's like Fight Club. You don't talk about it, but who's pounding the table for you in that selectors room for the Pro Football Hall of Fame? Who's in there talking Torry Holt on your behalf?
I don't know. I hope all of them are. I can't identify one person, but I hope they all are. I mean, they all watch me play, and I try to play at a pro level, at an all pro level, and all that. And I had great competition around me. The time when I was playing, it was Isaac and Marvin and Randy and T.O., all these guys, Jimmy Smith, Ross Smith, Keenan McCardell. The list goes on. And just really good wide receivers, and to be able to maintain in my era, around top 5, I think is respectable. So my work is done. I was able to go to St. Louis with a group of guys and win a Super Bowl, and give that city hope and a championship, inspire my teammates. So for me, my work is done, Rich. So it's up to the voters. It's up to the fans, and thanks to all the fans that supported me through the years. Look, I love playing football. If that happens, great. But I still got to keep. It's not going to stop me from loving the game, teaching the game, still supporting the game, and being around the game, Rich. Not at all.
Okay. And speaking of loving the game, we're loving taking you on in fantasy football this week. It's not a we. It's me and my colleague Chris Brockman to my right now. How confident are you to take on Vultures of the Ether in this fantasy contest this week, Torry?
Hey, you know what? I'm excited, man. I was 1-2. Mm-hmm. 1-2 over the weekend, so I got to bounce back.
You're in 3 leagues? Wow. You're in 3 leagues?
Yeah, I'm in 3 leagues. Yeah, in 3 leagues. Olsen went down, so that hurt. Oh, man, he's so productive and reliable, and he's an Iron Man. He's one of the NFL's Iron Men.
You picked up Evan Ingram. You picked up Evan Ingram for that.
Yeah,
okay.
So got Evan Ingram, so he's questionable, so we'll see how he does. But he is the Evan Ingram. Speaking of Evan Ingram, he's right now the brightest spot for the Giants. So I think they'll continue to get him even more involved in the offense from a flex position, from the tight end spot. I think they can also line him up wide and put Odell inside. I like to see he and Odell on the same side. That'd be.
Well, I saw you benched Brandon Marshall. I mean, before I let you go, what do you think's going on with him in that offense?
I don't know. I think he's pressing. Look, to me, he's pressing, Rich. Because it wasn't good in week 1. He wanted more targets. Week 2, a few more targets drops. And what happens, you start to press, and that's what it looks like to me that I'm seeing with Brandon Marshall. And where is his sweet spot for them? Is it 10 and in? Is it 15 and in? Is it 15 and stop? Where is his sweet spot for the Giants? Where can he help them best? I don't know if he has that vertical presence anymore. So, but with his body size, and he's shown the ability to run routes, he's got to find other ways to continue to win. Concentrate on the ball. That was always his knock, though. He's been an inconsistent ball. He'll drop balls. It's like, this is not like this has happened before. I mean, this is just happening. Brandon Marshall has dropped balls. When you're pressing and drop balls, it's a bad thing. He just got to relax, find a sweet spot for him, catch his balls, and just make his routine plays.
Ask him the poll question before we let Torry Holt go. That's sitting there on Rich Eisen Show app, Apple App Store, Google Play, the link at the top of our Twitter handle at Rich Eisen Show. Chris?
Yeah, Torry, which 0-2 team should RELAX? 49ers, Giants, Bengals, Saints.
What do you think?
49ers, give it to me one more time.
49ers, Giants, Bengals, Saints.
Which one do you think should relax? The fan base should relax the most. Everything's going to be good.
Oh, wow. None of them should relax. I mean, neither team can afford to go down 0-3.
Nice.
So no one can relax.
Okay, we'll accept that as an answer. I would say good luck this weekend in our fantasy league, but I don't mean it.
No, right.
But everything else with you, Torry, miss chatting with you, and let's have you back on whenever you want.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it. All the best, Rich. And send my guys, Michael and Dion and Kurt and everyone. Send all the guys my best.
That'd be my pleasure to do that. That's Torry Holt at Big Game 81.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on radio stations across the country and audience.
If you like that video, be sure to download our app, and I'll be sure to help the NFL figure out what a catch is.